thank you. First, I want to make sure that you're aware that Pete Lee is not running for Senate again. He's running to be my replacement. I'm term limited. He's running to be the new state representative for House District 18. Well, I'm State Representative Michael Merrifield. I've been your state representative for 7 years. I am term limited, but I'm here today because I have a personal story and I have a personal interest in this issue. I'm a cancer survivor. 2.5 years ago, on my birthday, I was diagnosed with throat and neck cancer and went through the next 6 months of radiation and chemo treatment. That treatment, I was told, cost $250,000. If I hadn't been lucky enough to be elected as your state representative, I would not have had the insurance that would have covered the costs, and I would be bankrupt today. I would not have a home down the street, and I would not have a savings account that isn't large, but at least it's there. So, and 1 year from now, when I am term limited, I will be uninsured and I will be uninsurable because I will have a precondition that will make me uninsurable from my cancer. So I have a personal interest. And so I am disgusted and I am appalled at the despicable lies and exaggerations that the Republicans, that talk show hosts, that our own county commissioners, and that the extreme right-wingers, many funded by millions of dollars from greedy insurance companies, are using in a self-serving attempt to defeat what we know is desperately needed health care reform. Now, these are the same insurance companies that make their profit by denying your health care. These same insurance companies that have the highest administrative costs in the world. They spend as much as 35% of our premium dollars on non-medical costs such as paperwork, reviewing claims, and marketing. In comparison, France, we don't dare talk about France, but it happens to be that France's healthcare insurance company, or insurance industry, covers everybody and spends about 4% on administration. Canada, who the Republicans and the right wing like to use as a bad example of health care reform, Canada spends 6%. The Japanese go to a doctor at least 15 times a year. That's 3 times the amount that we go to a doctor. And they have twice as many MRIs and x-rays, and they also have a better life expectancy and recovery rate than we do. And yet they spend about $3,500 a year on health care. We spend more than $7,000. The key difference between foreign health insurance plans and ours is that they exist only to pay people's medical bills, not to make a profit. The U.S. is the only developed country that lets insurance companies profit from basic health coverage. I think that's sick. Right now, 46 million Americans are uninsured. 2/3 of those come from families with at least one full-time worker. Among them are 27 million small business owners and their dependents and their employees of those businesses. Small businesses pay 3 times the administrative cost of large businesses for health care, for health insurance. So reform is vital to the survival of our small businesses and their ability to compete in the marketplace. Insurance rates in Colorado have risen 91% since 2000. The average family in El Paso County pays $12,953 a year for health insurance. At the rate insurance premiums have risen, if we do nothing, the average American will soon be paying up to 50% of their income on health insurance. Every week that we delay reform, 700 of our fellow Coloradans, of our neighbors, will lose their health insurance. And more than 16,000 Americans file for bankruptcy because they can't afford their medical bills. And every day, 421 people in America will die because they lack health insurance. 20,000 people a year die because they lack health insurance. I think that's sick. Well, we know that the cost of health care is crippling Colorado families and businesses, especially small businesses, and that health insurance reform is the only way we're going to bring these costs under control for the benefit of our neighbors and the rest of the residents in El Paso County. So I say it's time to stop playing politics and find solutions that work for American families. Health insurance reform should not be about scoring political points, It's about people's lives. It's about people's businesses. And it's about our country's future. So that's all I got for my prepared notes. I just want to quickly remind you of something. I was not always a politician. I was actually a music teacher for 30 years. And I'm very committed to the truth that music helps you sell a message and makes you understand it better. And over the last year or so, I've gotten to listen to country music. I never was much of a fan, but actually it's the only music that I can understand the words and there's a melody to anymore. So I got to thinking, I was listening to country music the last week or so, they cover everything. They talk about making up and breaking up and raising kids and divorce, all kinds of issues that we face every day. There's a lot of patriotic songs in there, but I have not heard one song about the crisis we're facing when it comes to health care reform. You would think it'd be a natural country song. So being a musician, I took the time to write down, scratch down a couple of lines here that I think maybe could be a good country song. And I need a hat to get in the mood. I'm thinking maybe the Dixie Chicks would take this on. Okay, let's try it. Grandma's dying from Alzheimer's, baby's got swine flu. Lost my house when I got sick, what's a guy to do? Insurance company said, too bad, what'd you think we'd do? Pay for grandma and the kid, and your chemo too. We gotta make big profits, big money for ourselves. We ain't gonna let you stop it, who cares if it smells? We gotta make big profits, obscene, disgusting, huge. CEOs must get their bonus, who cares if you get screwed?
The Affordable Care Act, or Obamacare as it's commonly called, mandates penalties this year of $300 to $600 for people without health insurance. Thankfully, most people qualify for low-cost or even free health insurance with government assistance through the HealthCare Exchange system. To see if you qualify, call our HealthCare Exchange hotline toll-free at 888-226-9599. If you don't sign up now, you will face a penalty and can't sign up again until the next open enrollment period. Why wait? Get insured now. Call today and let us navigate you through the process. We can make the process quick, easy, and painless. There are no fees and there is nothing to lose. Get insured. Call now. 888-226-9599.